breakaway. That's Sanderson, in fact, from the Australian team that's gone away with those two other riders. I think it's either 13 or 14 from France. But we're going to go back to that crash, which was a pretty horrific one. In fact, yes, it's number 14, Gerard, and number 10 from the Dutch team that's out in this little group at the moment. We're going back to that crash. Now, it comes around rather quickly, and I thought he was just going grass cutting, when in fact he went right into the edge, lost complete control, and down he went. And the riders, fortunately, swinging round here, missed the crash. In fact, two of the we saw coming through off the back one rider, Matthew Bremier of Great Britain, on his own coming through. We have also had information over our headphones that another British rider is in the ambulance. We've seen it go through the start-finish line round to the pits. And so any moment now they'll be taking him out of the ambulance in the British pit, which says to me he's not sufficiently badly injured to be taken up to hospital. And Russell Williams is going to phone to find out exactly who it was that was taken in the ambulance to the British pit. We just heard it on our headphones, and we're not able to identify that rider. If you saw the horrific crash yesterday for Daniel Lloyd, information is that he's gone home and that it seems to be, obviously he was damaged in the crash, but he went to the hospital and now he's on his way home. The Italian that came off in the crash had got cranium trauma yesterday, and as we said on our program, his mother was watching the program in Italy. She fainted when she saw that horrific crash which we had in the under-23 finish yesterday. We hope today we don't have the same thing happening. That swinging out that happened just a bit further back there, that's fairly typical when a field is going too fast. They're trying to keep it together, just going a bit too far out on the corner, and once your wheels go off the tarmac. By the way, they've resurfaced lots of this road, and of course when you resurface the tarmac and put down some more tarmac on top of the surface below it, it sticks up around about anywhere between 2 and 3 inches on either side where it goes against the curb, or against, in that particular instance, right against the grass and the grit that was there too. So once your wheel goes in that, boy, you've got big problems to stay upright, particularly that sort of speed. Everybody getting wound up now. We're in the last half lap. They're Babs and Veersel, and there they are chasing after our 3 leaders. At the back then, number 14 at the moment in that breakaway group, working hard. That is Gerard of France. We've seen him doing quite a lot of work earlier on. The Australian rider working his way across here too, and that's Sanderson from Australia, number 148 on his back. You can pick him up too. And the rider from Holland that's in this little group at the moment is Velez, Tom Velez from Holland. Let's hope that the Dutch have better luck today. Yesterday, that disqualification in the sprint, certainly it saddened all the Dutch people. It saddened everybody, the crash anyway. And then Dekkers was disqualified from second spot in the sprint yesterday. Nisa's come back. We seem to have lost Stephen Roche. He seems to be talking to or gone somewhere else. And Russell is now going to try and phone the British camp. You've done it, but you can't get them.
No, I've just been onto the British camp, onto David Mellor, and he's still not sure yet who's gone down.
Oh, they haven't got him back yet.
Yeah, so they're going to phone me back in a few minutes.
Right.
But I told him it's the last lap. You can't phone us. We're live.
Right then, Nisa, words about your man from Australia.
Yeah, well, Nick, he's new on the scene, but he's another one of our trackies, I suppose, that's come across to the road. He was our national champion this year in the points in the Madison. He's also second in the World Junior Teams Pursuit, which was held in Melbourne this year. So he's been over here riding with our development squad in Europe. So, of course, he's looking to have a big result today. We did lose him for a while, and he seems to have come back full of gusto.
He could be up against it because the Dutchman here in the break, he's actually the national road champion, 7 wins this year, and he knows all about bikes because he works in a bike shop as a bike mechanic.
Are you going to be a bike mechanic?
Oh, I am absolutely terrible. I'm good at cleaning bikes. Get a nice big bucket of hot soapy water and another bucket of hot water. Get the bike, of course, loads of rags and a brush, do the job.
Rider from attacking now, Slovakian riders on the attack. That's the odd man in between. Just had confirmation that Slovakian rider trying to go across there, and he's come back again. We'll have to change over headphones, sharing between Nissa and Stephen, because we get a bit from Ireland, a bit from Australia at the same time. Don't go away though, Nissa, because your man's doing well as well. And oh, Duck Pilgrim Doctor again. Another call. That's another one down. We've lost 3 riders so far in crashes.
I think it's, we'll look on the right-hand side of the road.
154. Michael Jolly has gone. Michael Jolly's gone. We know that Bremer had crashed, so the other of the others that have we've either lost Illingworth or Penketh, because we started with 4. 2, you know, we said 3 have crashed. We know 2 of them have gone down. 152 Bremer. We know that Jolly has gone. Now, of Illingworth and Penketh, one of those is still in the bunch, and one of them is on his way in the ambulance to the British camp. That's bad luck. That's we talk about the luck of the Irish, Stephen. But isn't this sort of typical? I mean, you go to watch Gina racing with your young lad. Is it enthusiasm, nervousness, or is it just a sheer lack of experience when these things happen?
Well, it's probably lack of experience, because these lads are on their second year juniors that are 17, 18 years of age. But also the will to be in the front. Everybody wants to be in the front, but unfortunately the road is only so wide. So not so much lack of experience, but they're very enthusiastic, and they want to push their way through, and they want to go through gaps that are not there sometimes. So, but that comes.
So the form will come, and the experience will come over the years, but they stay in the sport. And just the one rider trying to go across it at the moment. There's been loads of drama yet again. And to you people back in Great Britain, if you just switched on your telly, you're watching the last lap of the Junior Men's World Road Race Championship from Zolder. 128 kilometres in all. That's 10 laps of a 12.8 kilometre circuit. The last average speed we had, they've been doing 45 miles an hour. So 45 kilometres on the last lap.
Oh, crash again.
Again, they've gone down.
And the whole fence has gone down as well.
One of the Australians in this one too. Yes, the riders here from Germany, Italy, Holland. Gallard's gone down. A Polish rider in that one. Dutch one's just going around the outskirts. There's a German rider. One of the Italians, I think, has gone down too as well. Oof, they're sitting the numbers down at the back, aren't they? 32.
Yesterday, Dave, in the ladies' race as well, there was a lot of, in the elites race, there was a lot of crashes also, and I think that's very, very lucky it's not raining. When you see all the paint on the road here, if it rained here, it'd be very, very dangerous.
Well, this is leading threesome at the moment. The Slovakian rider is trying to come up to catch them, but there's remnants of the main field. I think also trying to close this down. We have another rider trying to close the gap down. The Slovakian one is trying to go across to leading threesome. Sanderson of Australia. Plus out there's Gerard of France, and from the Netherlands, Van Leiden. And they're coming across now, one of the riders, either from France. By the way that my French commentator alongside me is jumping up and down, getting rather excited. Probably thinks one of his riders coming. He say, come on, keep on, get stuck in. So I'm just wearing the headphones to get the confirmation of this one coming through, but one of the Dutch riders is coming up. I don't think he'd do anything to help this one. Eyeballs out, there they go. In fact, one of the Finnish riders, and down he goes, down the road there. 74 behind that Jurko. That's the man who was on his own trying to go, and they're going to catch him. What would you do now if you were Nicholas? Did you have to stay there, Stephen? I mean, what the Irish going to do?
Well, yeah, the Irish guys should be around the front, or somewhere around the front. Like when Nicholas was in the front, they would have been getting a handy ride back in the bunch. So I would have thought that when there was a counter-attack, they would have been to the front to be able to go with it. But if they're not there, it's obviously because they're not really on form today, or maybe they haven't got it. But and they're just waiting for a bunch sprint, hoping to finish 19th or 20th, which is a bit unfortunate, really.
Just looking good here for Holland here. As, this is number 9, I think, Van Leiden getting across. 2 Dutchmen in the front group now. So obviously one of them's got to commit himself to the other one, obviously, Stephen.
Well, they are juniors, and it's very difficult at that level to be able to say who's going to lead out the other one, you know. But they probably do a 1-2. I'd say kind of you, me, or you now, me later. Like, but if it comes down to a sprint, it's very difficult to see who will lead out the other one.
Unless there's big money on the table, like the professionals, like we're going to see on Sunday with people like McEwen and that lot.
I don't think the money actually is there, really. You know, I guess people always think about the money, but you got to be in the front first of all. So, actually, this guy here, Jurka, in the peloton here, in the bunch here, I met his father the other day. He actually rode the Tour de France with me back in '87.
Did he? Yes. Yeah. So it's a reunion of the old stock. Well, old side. The sort of people who've ridden over the years. They come to something like this to meet each other for the first time, don't they? Now,
yeah.
Do you look down there?
I saw Paddy O'Brien in the front, getting to the front. Paddy's a good sprinter, so if it comes down to a sprint, Paddy could pull something off. we saw him early on in the stage in the race. He was actually sitting on the back a lot, which staying out of crashes way and everything else. But we saw him around the front of the first 15 riders there. Maybe if it comes down to a sprint, he should be very good.
If you're watching the race now, come in for the first time at the back end of the race, the information for British viewers, not that good, by the way. 3 of our 4 riders have all crashed, not at the same time, but one after the other, and are out the race. We do know that Bramia and Jolly are not with any longer. We just don't know from Illingworth and Penkes which one is still in the race right now, but obviously on his own now, you just have to follow the wheels and just try and hope they can catch this group up as they're heading in towards the finishing circuit in Zolder. Russell.
Hey, smart riding by the Dutchman on the back here. The Finnish guy said for him to come through, and all the Dutchman did was wave his head, said, no, I'm not going to work. So he's going to save his legs, while the other guy just does the work.
Well, this could be the downside of the break as well, because the other riders are not going to
tow him to the finish.
No, they're not going to let 2 Dutch guys sit in, or 1 Dutch guy sit in, because that means they're automatically going to be racing for second place. So this is going to disrupt the good riding rhythm with the group. Yeah, I can't find the bloody words.
I know this is the trouble. Every time we've worked with you, you've spent so long in France now. You probably could commentate better in France.
Well, I was talking to Patrick Chassé there next door a few minutes ago, like in French, and commentating with him, and there was no problem, Dave. But,
welcome, Stephen Roche, to our commentary point. If you just turned on, this is the man who won the World Championships on the road and the Tour of France and the Tour of Italy, all in the same year. Welcome back with us, and anxious father too, watching Nicholas Roche back down there in the group. Another anxious father is going to be Tyler Farrow, who we met in the Irish pub. He was there last night, or the hotel, and he's a surgeon, specialist surgeon in spine surgeon. He saw the crash yesterday. He's got his son racing